The top stories for the hour. UN official hails Ethiopia as heart of Africa for strong commitment to food security. And Rockefeller Foundation praises Ethiopia's food sovereignty program as effective and exemplary. Hello and very warm welcome to EBC World, the voice of Pan-Africanism with the news. I'm Biniam Getana along with the technical crew and the editor. Stick around now, the news in a nutshell. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed received the UN Deputy Secretary General Amina J. Mohammed, Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, at his office. Ethiopia is proud to co-host the second UN Food System Summit taking place over the next 3 days in the capital Addis Ababa, the Prime Minister shared on his social media page. This morning, I had the pleasure of receiving Amina Mohammed, Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, at my office. We held productive discussions on various issues, including on the urgent need for sustainable, inclusive and resilient food systems across Africa and beyond, he said. The Premier further stated Ethiopia remains committed to transforming its food systems through integrated policies, climate-smart agriculture and community-driven approach that enhance food security and nutrition for all. In other news, FAO Director General Kudonchu, Kenya's First Lady Rachel Ruto, and Uganda's Vice President Jessica Alpo arrived in the capital Addis Ababa for the UN Food System Summit, taking place July 27 to 2029. Kudonchong was welcomed by Ethiopia's State Minister of Health, Dr. Sharla Abdullahi, while Rachel Ruto was received by State Minister of Women and Social Affairs, Huria Ali. Meanwhile, Jessica Alpo was welcomed by Prosperity Party VP Adam Farah and State Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Brown Zagai. Meanwhile, agriculture ministers from Mali, Gambia, Kenya and Zambia have also arrived yesterday in Addis Ababa for the summit. Mali's Daniel Simon Kalemba and Gambia's Demba Saliba were received by senior Ethiopian officials at Bore International Airport. Likewise, Kenya's Mwati Kagwe and Zambia's Ruben Motolo Ferry were also welcomed by Ethiopian state ministers. The summit, co-hosted by Ethiopia, Italy and UN agencies, aimed to assess progress since the 2021 summit and push for resilient, inclusive food systems amid global challenges. As the news continues, Lina Salevi, Deputy Director of the UN Food Systems Coordination Hub, has applauded Ethiopia's strong commitment to food security. She also expressed appreciation for Ethiopia's role as a co-host for a second United Nations Food System Summit, calling the country as a true heart of Africa.
We're very honored that Ethiopia has taken it upon themselves to host us here in beautiful Addis Ababa, which is truly the heart of Africa. I think this is very symbolic. This is the first time we're doing the UN Food System Summit in a developing country on the African continent. And I think that this is a testament to Ethiopia's strong commitment to food systems transformation. We know that Ethiopia has an agricultural-based economy and is making great efforts in ensuring convergence between food systems and the climate agenda. So we're very honored to be here. We know that this is a historical place for finding solutions to the world's problems. So we hope that we will have a very successful outcome to the summit.
The Deputy Director further underscored UN's commitment to assure these countries to transform their food security.
So what the United Nations is trying to do is to bring together the diversity of stakeholders that need to be there to transform food systems and ensure that the countries that are working to make this happen have access to technical expertise, have access to resources, have access to partnership and innovation, so that they can truly accelerate the implementation of their plans for transforming food systems. We help countries integrate food systems transformation into climate agendas, into social protection agendas, enact legislation that puts the right to food at the center of their efforts, and truly ensure an equitable and transparent process with all actors that need to be at the table.
You're still watching ABC World as the news continues. The Rockefeller Foundation has praised Ethiopia's food sovereignty programs, describing them as effective, proven, and exemplary. Betty Kibara, the foundation's food initiative director, told Ethiopian news agencies that Ethiopia's efforts in food sovereignty stand out as a model for other nations. Recalling the foundation's core mission focused on advancing human security, particularly in the areas of food, energy and health, and actively working across African countries for over the past 60 years, Kibara noted that it has found Ethiopia a country with its own initiatives like the Green Legacy. Kibara also underscored that Ethiopia's food security strategies not only deliver tangible results but also provide valuable lessons for other countries working to achieve similar goals.
This makes Ethiopia a shining example, and a country that gives us hope that you're not expecting for someone from outside to come and tell you to plant trees, but everyone is planting trees. And these trees, of course, you can tap into the carbon markets. The trees are good. They are going to make, to improve the environment. Fruit trees are going to be consumed by the locals and maybe even exported. But it's going to really be a very transformational initiative. And I understand also it has increased the tree cover tree cover for Ethiopia. A very, very exciting initiative, and I'm just hoping that during the UN Food System Summit, which is going to be happening here, those are some of the lessons that we want to learn. We want to learn from Ethiopia. How did they make this work? Because a lot of countries have many good policies, but those policies never get translated into action. So I think this is one of the exciting things that I'm looking forward to as we get to the UN Food System Summit. Can we learn from countries? What is it that they have done? Why were they able to do it? And we see whether this could also be replicated in other countries.
Meanwhile, Kibara expressed optimism that the summit would provide an opportunity to learn from Ethiopia's experience.
It's quite exciting to see that the government is also making investment, and especially coupling this with irrigation. I think this is exciting because then it's going to make Ethiopia, self-reliant on wheat, and I think in also making sure that they're incorporating the smallholder farmers, and the smallholder farmers in the wheat cluster are not just going to be working alone, but they are being aggregated and farming and marketing as a block. I think this is also another good example of how countries, African countries, can take their own ownership for their development, and this is a good example on the wheat. Yeah.
Now, recap of the top stories once again. UN official hails Ethiopia as heart of Africa for strong commitment to food security. And Rockefeller Foundation praises Ethiopia's food sovereignty programs as effective and exemplary. You've been watching ABC World, the voice of Pan-Africanism from the capital, Addis Ababa. Stick around with the remaining program. Goodbye and enjoy your remaining Sunday.